to No BS Small Business Marketing. I am your host, Jarrod Cash, and today is episode number 5. If you are new to the podcast and you haven't listened to episodes number 1 through 4, I strongly encourage you to go back and pay close attention to those as they lay a foundation for everything that we are talking about forward. So jumping right in here to episode number 5, it's called It's Not All About the Marketing. Despite the title of the podcast, there are some important things that you have got to do before you start marketing heavily for your business. Now, this is about the basics. Now, you might listen to a lot of the 5 keys that we're about to go over and think that they're easy to dismiss because they sound simple and they sound basic. However, I want you to stop and think about a lot of them as we go along the way and to realize that most businesses in today's 2018 and beyond environment fail miserably at these types of things. And the ones that succeed, we're talking on a small business level here, the ones that succeed are the ones that implement these 5 keys along the way. So let's jump right here into the first one, good customer service. Now, this sounds, like I said, simple. You've heard it before. If you own a business, if you are an entrepreneur, everybody knows you're supposed to get good customer service, right? Sure. Well, hey, when's the last time you got any? Anywhere. I can tell you when the last time I got some was, and I can tell you a whole lot more about all the other times that it's been shitty customer service everywhere I've gone. In fact, I stopped going to certain stores because the customer service is so bad, and I'll tell you right now, Walmart is one of them. I swore off a Walmart after I went there shopping for a new television. I brought $1,000 with me and went looking for a new TV. I could find no one in the electronics department to help me. Eventually, I went out searching for a worker. The one that I was able to locate, I'm not making this up, had a lollipop in his mouth. And when he spoke to me, he did not remove said lollipop. I eventually got so frustrated, I decided, why am I giving them my money? What's the point? They don't want it, and they're making me feel like an asshole for wanting to spend money in your business. So I swore off Walmart after that. I'm not going to spend money at places where I'm treated terribly as a customer. It's ridiculous. Now, I can tell you on the flip side of a place that does excellent customer service. Now, I don't know if they do it nationwide. I only shop at my local one, but my local Trader Joe's. I live in Las Vegas. I live over in the Summerlin area. We have a Trader Joe's here in our neighborhood, and it is, without a doubt, the single most pleasurable grocery shopping experience I've ever had anytime I go there. Every every worker in that place makes me feel like they're so excited that I'm there. They're super nice. It's never a trouble to do anything. When you ask people how they're doing, they respond pleasantly. They don't ignore you. How many times have you gone into a place and you say, "Hi, how are you today?" while you're paying for your groceries or your food or whatever it is that you're purchasing, and you just get ignored? Or you say thank you and they ignore you, or they're on their phone, or they're talking to coworkers. It's absolutely absurd. So one thing that you've got to do as a small business owner is have good customer service. That's not only just you yourself when you're interacting with your customers or your clients, but obviously your staff as well. You have to not only be courteous and polite yourself, but we've got to make sure that the people we have working for us, the people that we have representing you, your ideas, and your business out to the world are simply courteous and polite to the people who are coming into your store or your place of business or calling on the phone or whatever interaction that it is that they're having with your customer base or your potential customer base. And you need to monitor this strictly, and you should never just assume that your staff is polite, especially if they just happen to be around you all the time. You should be taking measures to find out how they're acting when you, the boss, or whoever you have in charge of this area is not around. It's very, very important, and it's something that's sadly lacking in today's society. And the next thing that you have to do ties right into this. And you have to lie to your customers or your clients or your potential customers and clients, and you need to train your staff to lie to them. Now, here's what I mean. I'm not speaking about being unethical in any way. I am speaking specifically about answers to certain questions that we all ask in our day-to-day life, such as, hey, how are you today? Or how's your day going? Or something along those lines. You never ever answer that question in anything but a positive manner, and you train your staff to never answer that question in any way but a positive manner. I can't tell you how many times I've said that to somebody at a checkout of some sort and actually had the person respond with the truth about their day, which nobody wants to hear. Your employees should never be telling your customers about how shitty their day was or how terrible their life is. This is a terrible no-no. And we can never just assume that your staff isn't doing that. You would be surprised at how often it happens. So we have to remember, when we're out in front of our customers, in our customer base, it's almost like we're actors and we're acting. Our day is always great, wonderful, marvelous, and we are happy people, and we're certainly happy to be talking to our customers. And if you do that first key, that is going to be a major, major, major thing to help you stand out in today's uncourteous and unpolite society. Now, on to basics number 2, which is a clean customer or client environment. However it is that your people, your tribe, your customers, your clients, and that base is interacting with you, that area needs to be clean. And this is another one. You think that this would be a simple and basic thing, but it is not. How many times have you gone to a dirty restaurant? How many times have you been to an auto repair shop that you were scared as a customer to sit down in anywhere? How many? I've been in convenience stores where the bathroom was terrifying. I've been in restaurants that it looked like it had never been cleaned, and it makes me wonder about the food. This is a very, very important point, and it's a very simple and easy point. Again, it's something that you might think is so obvious. Why are we talking about it here? And here's an example. There are certain TV shows that, as a business owner and entrepreneur, that I watch on the regular. And of course, there's obvious ones like Shark Tank, but another is Bar Rescue. As well as Kitchen Nightmares. Kitchen Nightmares is a Gordon Ramsay show. It's off the air now. However, it's available on demand on all whatever various services there that you're using. And Bar Rescue is another version of that, or any show where you've got a consultant being brought in to fix a business. And I guarantee you that the problems that they show on these television shows are very similar to all of the same problems faced by consultants that don't have TV shows. And it's always the basics. How many restaurants has Gordon Ramsay gone into that are disgusting and filthy? And for some reason, as business owners, you get blinded to it. You have a terrible time seeing it in your own environment. And it's something we all know better. So you need to be able to look at whatever your area of interaction with your customers is and make certain that it is pristine and clean. It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to have high dollar furniture. If you have an auto repair shop, you don't have to go out and spend a small fortune getting a fancy office. Just make sure it's clean. Make sure that bathroom is clean. It's very important, and another thing that'll help you stand out here in this society where we have so much dirt and filth and people not caring about the customer's perception of the business. Now, on to number 3. Don't sell shit. Now, that might be obvious too. However, you don't have to sell the best product. You don't have to have the best service. But it needs to not be a pile of junk. Whatever it is that you're selling. Again, it doesn't have to be the best, but it has to be decent. People have to be able to get some sort of value from what it is that they're purchasing from you. And here's what I mean by it doesn't have to be the best. Domino's. Everybody's got a Domino's in their town, right? All across the nation. I tell you what, when I was younger, I moved to New York City for a while. I lived in New York, just outside of Brooklyn. I spent about a year out there. And so obviously, I ate a ton of pizza. Authentic, delicious New York pizza. If any of you listening have been there, you know what I'm talking about. It is the bomb. I came back to Colorado. That's where I'm originally from. And the first pizza that I wound up getting was just a Domino's. You know, it's simple, it's easy. You order it. Oh my God. That was so disgusting. I couldn't even eat it. It tasted just like cardboard. It was the worst pizza ever. And I couldn't get back to eating those until my taste buds just got acclimated to shitty Domino's pizza again. Domino's isn't selling you the best pizza, though. When you go to McDonald's, look at the huge success of McDonald's. You telling me that's the best burger you can go buy? It always amazes me. Now that I'm out here in Las Vegas, if you're on the West Coast anywhere, you know about In-N-Out Burger, right? Oh my God, I didn't have In-N-Out Burger in Colorado, but I'd heard about it. I moved out here, I finally get to experience it, and I'm like, holy shit. How are people spending the same amount of money? Like, you can go to McDonald's, I assume. I haven't been to one in like, I don't know, 20 years. But you can go to one, and I assume you can get a hamburger for, I don't know, $2, $3, right? Well, you can go to In-N-Out Burger, and you can get a hamburger for $2, $3, and it's a world of difference. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Whatever you're selling doesn't have to be the best, but it has to be decent enough where some people are going to like it. It has to be decent enough where it does what you're telling people that it's going to do. All right? And if you're selling shit that doesn't hold up, that doesn't work, that when people buy it, it falls apart, or when you sell it to them, it doesn't do anything that you promised, you need to find something else to sell. Not the best, but it's got to be good enough. Which ties directly here into number 4, which is guarantee what you sell. Period. I can't stress this enough. And there's a lot of controversy, at least in my world here in 2018. And when I say my world, I mean the marketing and advertising, copywriting expert world, where you've got people who sell copywriting and advertising courses for other copywriters and advertisers like me. And a lot of the big rage right now is none of them are offering guarantees. Or you've got people that they're putting on seminars on how to do things and entrepreneurial activities, and they're not offering any money back guarantees on the seminars. And that may work for their particular target market, but you should never assume that that's what you should do. And I will tell you, if you can't guarantee what you're selling, it ties right into number 3. Don't sell shit. Get yourself something that you can guarantee. And by guarantee, be careful what you're promising. But if you won't at least give an unhappy customer their money back, you need to get something else. And here's why. All it takes is one. And I don't mean you're just going to lose a customer, because you will. And if you know anything about lifetime value, which you should know, which we've talked about in prior episodes to this one, you can salvage a customer if they want their money back. You give them, you return their cash, you make it right, and you continue to market to them. You don't lose out on that lifetime value. If you're stubborn about this, all it takes is one. And what I mean is, it just takes that one, what you might think of as an asshole customer, that one guy that's not going to let it go. He's going to start calling people. He's going to tell everybody he knows that you ripped him off. He's going to tell everybody he knows not to come to your place of business. Worst of all, he's going to start seeing what he can do about it. Maybe he's going to get so angry about this, he decides to call the attorney general and report you. Or one of these news shows where they go and report on quote-unquote scams. And I tell you, even if you're in the right, even if you're 100% correct in this situation, it's just easier to give the money back, give that guarantee, and then if they're that terrible of a customer, well then fire them, ban them, don't ever do business with them again. But they can't run around and accuse you of all these things or take all these steps to screw you over if you've just simply given them their money back. And that's a worst case scenario here. But let's say you want to be really stubborn with it. You're in the right and you're going to fight it in court, and you don't care if they call the attorney general and register a complaint. Well, I'll tell you what, there's a saying. It's often misattributed to Shakespeare, and honestly, I don't remember who the quote is originally attributed to right now, but it is this: give me 7 lines from any honest man, and I'll see him hung. What that means is, if you can't pick up on the drift, there's so many laws in today's society, be it about your advertising or your promises or regulations in whatever your industry is, that I bet somewhere along the way you're in violation of something. And thus the last thing you want is people poking around and messing with that and causing you trouble just because you're feeling stubborn. And if you're so worried that all of your customers are going to want their money back after they buy something from you, then I refer you to number 3 that we just talked about. Don't sell shit. So my advice to you, except in extreme circumstances, guarantee what you sell. Period. On to number 5, which we're going to wrap up with this, which also ties in directly to number 4, which is deliver what you promise to your clients or your customers, or make sure that what you're selling them does whatever it is that you're promising it will to your customers or clients. And this is another one that might sound basic, but it's not. This is a promise that many, many people fail on. And if you make certain that you're delivering it, then you're going to stand out for your customers as well. And if you find yourself in a situation where you're unable to deliver what you're promising to your customers or your clients on a consistent basis, then you just need to adjust your promises. That's all it is. Adjust your promises, adjust your service, find a better product. Whatever it is, make sure that it is congruent. You do these 5 basic things, and you make sure that they're all working together. And then when you apply these advertising and marketing strategies that you're learning on this podcast, and this flood of people is coming into your business, they're going to be happy. Because once they get there, if you're fucking up any of these places, you're going to be losing money, and they might not ever come back. I'll wrap it up with this. How many times have you ever been to a restaurant that just opened up? Because restaurants are notorious for this. It's a brand new restaurant in your town. You're excited about it. You're there on opening week, and they've messed up. Your food comes out late. The server doesn't know what's up. It's overcooked, and you don't go back maybe ever. Why? Because they simply failed on the basics, because they didn't have them set up before they opened those doors. All right? So the final thought for you to ponder here before we wrap this episode up, and I heard this, I'll give credit, I heard this from a man named Kevin Nations, who is a high-level entrepreneur coach. And he said the basics are really the advanced. Now, thank you for listening to today's episode. If you're not already a subscriber, I encourage you, whether you're listening on iTunes, whether you're watching the video on YouTube, or if you are on Google Play, please subscribe, hit the like button, help get these videos or these episodes out to as many people as possible. You can download the podcast or subscribe at any of the aforementioned places at jarrodcash.com. And you can watch all the videos and subscribe at youtube.com/jarrodcash. Thanks, everybody. Peace.